Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Scott, for asking me to talk to you all today. And I'm really excited to talk about PARC LGS collaborative research with you all. So my title, Building Bridges and Breaking Barriers, really captures the essence of what we are trying to do, bringing together collective diverse experiences across different institutes to do meaningful research. So let's jump in. So as you know, LGS research or epilepsy research in general has been done in a very individualistic, in silos, single centers, single labs, and it's still valuable for basic science research or translational research, but when you are considering a rare disorder like LGS, it's extremely challenging. You just don't have diverse expertise and perspectives when you are looking at single center environment. There are definitely examples of multi-center collaboration over the years, but even if you look at those examples, you'd see that those collaboration often limited to a handful of projects, those not lasting for years and years to do research over decades. Beyond research, there are also challenges for single center environment. If you think about junior faculty and senior faculty, junior faculties would have limited growth opportunities if you are limited to one center. Senior faculties, they would miss out on mentoring opportunities, building networks. So when you consider these factors, you'd come up with some ideas that you would feel that there is a better way working together in a more collaborative fashion. So in that context, I want to talk about PARC. So PARC is Pediatric Epilepsy Research Consortium, which is a nonprofit, which started in 2010, 2011, modeled after Children's Oncology Group. So if you don't know about Children's Oncology Group, this was founded, this is the largest pediatric cancer research organization. This was founded 50 years ago. Since then, it grew to centers all over the world, multiple continents, 220 centers, thousands of researchers involved in research. So if you consider a child in US having cancer, 80 to 85% chance that child would undergo treatment founded or discovered by Children's Oncology Group. So PARC was established and modeled after that group to share data and carry out collaborative protocols. So since then, it started 15 years ago. It grew to now more than 90 plus centers in the US, and more than 350 clinicians and researchers are taking part in several different special interest groups, or SIGs. So we have nearly 20 special interest groups. When I started, when Zach Greenspan and Scott asked me to participate 5 years ago, I started in the epilepsy surgery special interest group, subsequently infantile spasm, and then 2 years ago, 2023, I started participating in LGS special interest group when there was a significant push to reinvigorate LGS collaborative research under the infrastructure of PARC, to bring together national LGS experts under this PARC LGS umbrella. So I first looked at the mission and goals of LGS SIG, and I immediately felt these are my research objectives and goals. And I think it's vital when you want to participate in a collaborative research, you want to see if they have a really defined purpose and goal moving forward. So just take 1 minute to look at the goals. Develop improved evidence base in LGS. Define best practice treatments to facilitate prospective studies. Enable better clinical trials. So it's really one thing to have good concept, good goals, but it's completely different ball game to bring those concepts to actual collaborative work in day-to-day practice of busy clinicians and researchers. So when I reflect over last 2 years what's happening in LGS-SIG, I thought there are few key principles that I want to highlight that I felt was critical for our success. One was to have new perspectives from diverse institutes. That was really mission critical. We focused on shared goals very early on, and we also had complementary expertise, and I would give examples. And we very much focused on open and transparent collaboration from very early on. Beyond collaboration, I want to point out the team structure and leadership of our SIG. So we really have a distributed leadership model. We have 2 co-leaders. So Dr. Knowles is here, Aaron is here. So one clinical scientist, other more translational scientists. So that broadened the perspective and scope of research that we are doing. Secondly, we have many small core working groups. So that allows many other team members to participate in this working group as leader. So that definitely increased the engagement as well as participation from all team members in SIGs. Then we have subject matter experts. Some faculties, they're interested in epilepsy surgery in LGS. Some are interested in sleep. Some interested in status epilepticus in LGS. Some are neuromodulation. So that's when we are doing research and providing insight, we can actually give very niche, we cover very niche areas in LGS research. Other important point is cross-SIG integration. Though we are doing research in LGS, under LGS-SIG umbrella, we are frequently doing collaboration with other SIG in PARC, genetics, epilepsy surgery. Lastly, we actually built an environment that all voices matter. We don't have rigid hierarchy in our research ideas, so that definitely fosters significant growth. It's just we share our ideas much more freely that I had seen in other collaboration. So as I was talking about the growth, we started, I know the first meeting in 2023, we had LGS-SIG before that. We had 12 members. Now it grew to 60 plus members across 50 different centers in US. Now, to give few examples, the first one, Dr. Knowles spearheaded in 2023, which is combo of literature review as well as expert opinion. That I think this publication helped. This is kind of an early win that helped the team to come together. And I still remember having this monthly meeting when we are writing about this. And I came up with so many ideas just attending the meeting. So definitely I would not go into detail about the publication. I think some other people will talk about it later. But the gist, the summary, like we talked about how to leverage electronic medical record to look at retrospective data for natural history studies. Someone talked about how important precision therapeutics for LGS, but we need to have better preclinical model to understand the pathogenesis of LGS. We again talked about the importance of non-seizure outcome, which we are already seeing in many clinical trials. Now the focus is shifting from not only focusing on seizure outcome, but non-seizure outcome. I mentioned about the different other core working groups, and as I was thinking about what would be some of the clinically important things that we can tackle now, not thinking about some big projects that may happen in 5 years, what we can do now. So one thing I was thinking that anti-seizure medicine, we have 8 FDA-approved anti-seizure medicine for LGS. There are 20 other medicines we frequently use, including first-line medicine, valproate. But if you think about a clinician who is in a smaller program, they would be overwhelmed out of these 30 medicine, which medicine to choose first, which one to second. So I brought together 12 experts from LGS-SIG to write this really clinically relevant consensus treatment algorithm, specifically focused on anti-seizure medicines, which does not look only on the seizure efficacy data, but safety, also comorbidities, and also access. So please check it out. I'm not going to discuss the algorithm. I think Fabio showed the actual algorithm in his presentation. The other topic we have the publication was the neuromodulation strategies. Last 2 decades, we are using VNS for LGS, but increasingly people are interested using DBS and RNS. But if you go to a clinician, they are overwhelmed to know which patients would be best candidate for this neuromodulation neuromodulation devices. For any specific individual patient, should I use VNS, RNS, or DBS? They don't know. They don't know how to counsel patient before surgery. And most importantly, they don't know how to optimize parameters to give the patient best outcome they deserve. So for this, we have 18 experts. Many of our more expert, they have more expertise in neuromodulation than LGS. But we have this publication, clinical practice guideline, to help clinicians better manage their patients. Other small projects. When I was working on the consensus treatment algorithm, Scott mentioned that, yes, we are doing treatment algorithm, but we don't have enough information about seizure-specific, seizure type-specific data, as well as we don't have specific information about cognitive and behavioral impact. So we did scoping review to look at whatever treatment available, what's their impact about tonic seizure or atypical absence seizure. If you have a patient with LGS having more tonic seizures, do you treat that patient similarly like a patient who is having more atypical absence seizure? What data available? So we looked at whatever treatment available and did a scoping review. Same thing, we frequently use different anti-seizure medicine and ketogenic diet or surgery, but we don't know the impact in cognition and behavior after we use those. So there's another review regarding that. I mentioned about cross-SIG integration. So we are talking about LGS and precision therapeutics. So I worked with our genetics SIG colleague members to look at what's there in terms of etiology-specific treatment. As we know, we have 900 plus different genes that are associated with epilepsy. Many are specific DEs, some are specific to LGS. There are some specific treatment available now that we can use for LGS and DEs in general. And many clinicians, they are not familiar with this available treatment. I know Dr. Greenspan is doing some trial with 4-phenylbutyrate. Many clinicians, they don't know that they have a patient with that specific mutation, that they can use that medicine right now. So we did this scoping review to look at all the different genetic etiology and their underlying pathogenesis, primary pathogenesis. Is it related to channel dysfunction? Is it related to neurotransmitter or receptor level dysfunction? Or related to cellular or signaling dysfunction? Or is it related to synaptic problem? And then look at the treatment that's available now, or some treatment are emerging in the animal model. And actually, one of the PARC members, Dr. Park Readers, did this nice illustration, which has the basic pathogenesis as well as examples there that anyone can look at and see what's available there. Lastly, I definitely want to highlight that last year in 2024, the Pediatric State-of-the-Art Symposium highlighted Lennox-Gastaut syndrome as the focus. Many PARC LGS, that's a really huge deal. Many of our LGS-sick leaders participated in this, and that definitely provided national platform for LGS research. And I'm not going to talk about that symposium highlight. There's a nice summary paper published in Epilepsy Current. Please check this out. This is really, really awesome. This actually so nicely summarized what's happening in this LGS field. There are many ongoing projects. So there's an expert consensus guideline for LGS management. There's the systematic review part ongoing, predicting spasm to LGS progression, survey on surgical decision-making in LGS. This is this is undergoing revision right now. And then spatial genomics in LGS. So to wrap everything and give some summary, so what made us successful? So having clear, compelling vision. It's important to know, like when you are participating in collaborative research, to know where you are going. Inclusive leadership. I think we are really blessed with multiple co-leaders who are moving this field forward in a very efficient fashion. Early wins. I think Dr. Knoll's publication that brought together all the team members to work together. Having open, transparent communication. Having PARC's infrastructure so that we can share our data to have all the experts come together. And lastly, we have this culture of sharing recognition and credits among team members. And the last thing, that our SIG is very flexible and adaptable. All the project ideas are building organically in the SIG. We are not waiting for years before a project can take over. You just need few people in the SIG to be interested about something, passionate about something, and then move forward with the project. Future vision. Definitely we want to expand to international collaborators and to bring some of their expertise in our research. And we already have a significant number of junior faculties, but definitely we want to see more pediatric neurology residents and epilepsy fellows participating in our SIG. And this is our website, parcepilepsy.org. Please check us out to know who are the members and what project going on. Thank you for your attention.
We actually have time for one question. Woohoo! Any questions, please just raise your hand. Ah, yes.
I'll bring the mic over.
Mike's coming your way.
Thank you. So we're seeing kind of like a PERC is a big umbrella institution, right? And a lot of the doctors, the cool doctors, right? So the ones that are here, the ones that go to AES, right? So to the big conferences, participate in PERC. So do you have any kind of like an approach, to try to get to the smaller doctors? Like we were talking about the rural areas, all those areas that are far from the centers of excellence, for example, right? So they don't have a big specialist. They don't even have an epileptologist, maybe, right? So they have neurologists, they have nurse practitioners, right? So do you have any approach how to get to those people as a PERC organization?
Yeah, that's a great question. Actually, I'd be the right person to answer this because I'm actually not from a really big medical center. So I'm from Arkansas, and our center is a good-sized program, but not one of the biggest. And the reason when I started participating in PARC research, that was the main reason, because I know that I don't have enough patients just in my center that I can do research very efficiently. So that's actually would be a good slogan for the other members who are not participating in it to reach out to them and say that you can meaningfully contribute. So I think that's the Regent Park, the centers expanding everywhere, because anyone can participate and get some experience being member of Park. Thank you.